It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I've already got a smile on her face for the next two guests because we are joined in studio by two pioneers in South African comedy. It's Jason and Nicholas Goliath in the building, and they've been keeping us laughing as Goliath and Goliath for a decade already. Now, these two successful solo as well as collaborative artists are currently on their Goliath and Goliath 10-year comedy tour and have already performed to a sold-out show at the Lyric Theatre in Johannesburg, but they are now setting their sights on the mother city, Cape Town. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a massive round of applause and a welcome back to the couch. Royalty has arrived.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, how are we doing, man?
We are wonderful, blessed and happy.
Oh, it's so good to hear.
And excited to be back. I don't think I've been here for like three years. I'm just glad.
Yourself scarce. What's up? You have an issue with
No, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a pandemic in between.
Oh yes, there was.
And then I wasn't allowed here with my Joburg germs. But why don't you tell the people why you were laughing? Why don't you tell the people where you're from? What you were laughing at?
I have to just because I was asking the gents, I'm like, well done, you guys look good. First task completed. You got here bright and early. And Nicholas was explaining to me how he PB today. He did everything that you need to do to get ready in the morning. And I mean everything.
The triple S.
All in the shower.
The triple S.
Everything.
To my wife and kids who are at home, I'm able to do it in 13 minutes. Everything. All the S. 13 minutes.
Gents, man, look, it's so good seeing you again. And I'm just thinking it's been 10 years. That is absolutely incredible. How do you stay relevant for 10 years? How do you stay funny for 10 years? How do you still enjoy this after 10 years of dealing with so many obstacles, navigating the space? Reflect on that for a second. That is incredible stuff.
Who's taking it?
I think let me start it off. I think how we're feeling after 10 years is that it's unbelievable. And I think the way we managed to stay in love with comedy is that we never started comedy to be comedians. We started doing comedy because we like making people laugh.
Okay.
And that's a thing that's never going to change. We come from that kind of lifestyle. That's how we grew up. And to stay relevant, it's tricky because the world is very sensitive at the moment. But the jokes will always just keep a smile. As long as we understand that the jokes are there just to entertain you, not to upset you.
Yeah, and that's a tricky space that you guys are walking because often it can be a millisecond of a change between the joke just absolutely slaying and being the most offensive thing in the world.
Yeah.
So it's not only the millisecond, but it's the context. So even when we started 10 years ago, we weren't competing with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. So those who came to the show had context for the jokes, and that's why nobody got into trouble. Now somebody can post 5 seconds of a 10-minute set that you built up to give you context for the thing I'm going to say, to gain the audience's permission. Then they only post that one thing. Then Twitter, even now, Twitter is watching our screen just with their thing open, with that to whom it may concern energy. You know what I'm about to report. Twitter, just relax. Just relax.
So the game has definitely changed.
Yes.
Taking it back to that first festival, that first gig that you guys compared to now, what's changed the most, apart from obviously, yes, the skits, the comedy, but I want to talk more personally about you guys. When you come up to the stage, obviously that first show must have been nerve-wracking, I'm sure.
Terrifying.
Was it?
No, my man. I went to the bathroom 17 times an hour before. Like, you just get loose in a bowl for no reason. I'm sorry, I know it's early in the morning, but you've got a bowl, and your bowl sometimes goes in the morning. But if you want to know what it's like, imagine 17 bowls in half an hour. Yay! Yay!
And with 10 years of comedy and 10 years of you guys working together as a family, I mean, it's not only just the gents, but the sister's also involved in the family. Kate Goliath,
the boss.
She's the MD, the boss.
Yes. The boss.
The whip.
He is the boss.
Surely there's like the inevitability that there's this like a family feud or a fight, or has there nothing been crazy along these 10 years that's caused you guys to think, I'm done with this family, I'm out, I'm over this?
You know what it is? So I think that, we've intimately understood that dynamic of working with family, and because we intimately understand it, we understand why people say, don't do business with friends and family.
Yeah.
The reason people say that is because generally the money starts to become a problem. So everybody's excited in the beginning with the potential to make money. But now once you've got a big cake and you've got a fat person and a thin person, I want more. I mean, I deserve 3/4 of this cake. Where's the cake gonna go? So the money generally later on becomes a problem. But with us, because we love comedy so much, the money within our business has always been a byproduct of the thing we do. So our business is like your business. It's a content generating machine in essence. But because we're having so much fun and because everybody's clear on what their objectives are. So Kate, for example, doesn't want to be in front of the camera or behind the microphone. She wants to be behind the scenes.
Even though she's the funniest.
Yes.
Of the four of us.
Yes, by far.
Kate got on stage,
by far.
destroy everybody.
By far the funniest. And then because we all just got such clear objectives, our individual career paths as well as the business's path is so clearly defined that we find we never, ever argue. It's the type of thing that it doesn't matter. So everybody gets the SMS when any money goes off the bank account. There's never a time where somebody phones to say, hey,
what money?
What's going on? Why is it going? Where is it going?
Okay.
Because everybody's at peace. There's a great deal of trust, and we have to communicate every single day to keep that trust going. So it is possible, but it's difficult. Don't do it. If you don't really love your people, if you love money more than you love your brother, don't do business with your brother. Simple.
Gents, let's talk about the exact reason why you're actually here. We've got the Goliath and Goliath 10-year tour. Oh, man, that is phenomenal stuff. Every time I say it, it's like the gravity of it just sinks in. I'm like, that's phenomenal. What can people expect, though? I mean, apart from comedy, apart from laughing our faces off, what can people expect? What should they be excited for?
Look, I think that's it. Is the comedy and laughing our faces off. Like, no, honestly.
We did Mitchell's Plain last night, which was just a special thing for us to be able to do, to kick off the Cape Town leg of our tour. We in Claremont tonight and Canal Walk tomorrow, just to kind of spread the love. But we're also traveling with our DJ. So the idea was we were going to call it the Goliath Comedy Club Tour, because we had our comedy clubs in Melrose Arch, in Melville, in Johannesburg, and we sold Melrose Arch, and COVID took care of closing down of Melville.
Yeah.
But the clubs always had a vibe. So we've got the best comedy DJ in the country, DJ Kwame, that travels with us, and his job is to fill in the gaps between the laughter with magic, because I can only describe what he does as that. So if you think Def Comedy Jam, if you think hardcore, raucous, big energy, the music and the DJ are a character in the thing, and I also feel like it's just time that people take a holiday from their life. You know what I mean? You've got stress, you've got debit orders, and it's that week now where things are happening. You've got children, and you've been next to your wife consistently
For 3 years.
Come through,
your husband.
Take a holiday from your life, from your job, and spend a couple of hours with us and just laugh from your core, let go and have fun, because it's all in comedy. So the tour is us, Nicholas and I, traveling around the country, performing with our favorite local acts. So we are as excited. I mean, I watched Ambrose Uren last night, who was just unbelievable. He was the guest with Yasin Barnes and Stuart Taylor. Tonight we've got Dalen Oliver jumping on as one of my favorite Cape Town acts, Stuart Taylor, Yasin Barnes. And tomorrow night, Kenwin Davids jumps on with us.
Oh, wow.
Which is just
star-studded lineup there, man.
But it's also like these reunions, because we haven't seen the Brasa, you know what I mean? Everybody's so excited, so we're showing off for each other with our new jokes now, you know what I mean?
Okay, it's like show and tell. All right. Well, gents, you don't have to say anything more. I'm definitely signing up for this one. And for you, Mzansi, if you want to lift your spirits up, have a laugh, and just have some fun with these absolute legends and celebrate 10 years of comedy with them, then head over to Web Tickets. And we will be chatting to them in just a little bit for some more of the comedy action. But for now, it looks like we've got a challenge on the horizon. Let's find out more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your feel-good breakfast show is Friday. We're celebrating, and we're back in studio with comedic giants Jason and Nicholas Goliath in the building, talking about the current tour, celebrating 10 years of Goliath and Goliath Entertainment, the entertainment agency itself, and also the fact that they are touring Cape Town this weekend, and then next week they are heading to P-Easy, otherwise known as GQ Berga, and they're going to entertain the people. But gents, welcome back again. We were talking about all the good stuff, and I want to carry on doing that, but I want to get a little bit deeper, right? Because maybe this conversation can serve as, let's call it inspiration for the people out there, because I definitely see you guys as pioneers, obviously. You've established yourself for the last 10 years, and you're doing something incredible, and that's chasing your passion and sustaining it at the same time, right? Yeah. So that box is ticked, but it didn't come this easy, right? So I believe a couple of years ago, Jason, you were working in insurance. Nicholas, you were in a call center selling people policies. You were the guy that's saying, hey, all these calls are recorded. I can remember that. Yes. But you made a big decision to obviously chase your passion. But what was life like before doing this? And show me the contrast as to what it is like now. Maybe for the guys listening out there that are also contemplating chasing their dream, but not sure if they should make that move, because you've got to pay the bills, right?
You have to.
Look, the debit orders don't sleep, my friend.
They don't stop.
Yeah, they are there, they are consistent, and they don't take leave, they don't take holidays. But life before, it can't be compared. I feel like So I only started comedy at 30, and I feel like the first 30 years of my life were varsity fees to be able to live my dreams. So I feel like what it's taught us is everything has a cost. So, you know, you meet somebody and it looks like their life is great. Most people don't know the backstory. So most people don't know that I went to a retail store on a microphone for 13 years.
What? Just hustling?
Just doing sales on a microphone every weekend, because I always liked the microphone. But, you know, I didn't know I could do comedy yet. And it was a thing. So that was my student job that and then in my 20s, I just had the attitude of, if I'm not working on a weekend, I'll be spending money. So even when I had other jobs, I just kept my student job and they just kept giving me more money because I was pretty good at it. But I bump into people now that go, Yana, you sold my father a TV in 2006. You know what I mean? My mother still doesn't talk to you because of that TV. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, we went through a lot, and then, you know, my business went under in spectacular fashion. I owned an insurance brokerage that proper, you know, a burnt boiler room type thing. Where it was just hectic, and I was in such a dark space. And Serving Gessie, who's, you know, one of my best friends on earth, gave me the best advice. We were on an audition, so everything had gone down, and I'd lost everything. When I say I lost everything, I mean I'm living with my mother. I had no money. It was, and to be overweight and broke is a terrible thing. Like, you don't, I mean, you can't have a dry lip and cholesterol at the same time. You know what I mean? It's too much. It's too much. And Siv said to me after spending a week on set shooting something in the early days, he said, "Bro, I think you should try stand-up comedy." And as Nick says, I said to him, "No, bro, I'm braai funny, not stage funny." And he said, "No, don't overthink it, bro. Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm not saying you must do this as a career. I just noticed that you really like making people laugh, so you should try it like a hobby. So try it out like somebody would try bungee jumping or skydiving. Go and try it and see if you like it." Nick and I have a conversation, and on the 3rd of July 2011, we try this thing, and it was the greatest thing I'd ever done in my life. So immediately both our brains go, hey, we've got to work hard. He's got to work hard in that call center. I've got to work hard at whatever else I'm doing to be able to afford to do this thing as a hobby. And the second we found that not only do we love it, but we're also good at it, it just made sense to start a business and nourish and feed an industry, because we could never have made it on our own. We needed lots of great comedians to be able to be great, to build those audiences, to be able to consume and have consistent comedy every week. And the last 10 years have therefore been a dream. So from a nightmare to a dream. To a dream, and I hope we never wake up from this one.
Necessary path to take to get to this point in time. And I think what I love about it most is that, and Nicholas, maybe I can ask you this, what you're doing is feeding people with like love. It's that good energy, it's this good vibes. You're able to pick someone up from some of the most deepest and darkest places. For you, Nicholas, I mean, is this something that you use as your sort of medicine as well when you need to be lifted up? Because comedy essentially provides the source of like nourishment, right? It's almost like a form of therapy. Is that what you use for your escape, your coping mechanism when things are tough as well?
Exactly that. Exactly. It's a coping mechanism. I always say to people, you know, it doesn't matter what information is being fed to me. My brain is immediately looking for where the punchline is. You can tell me your dog died this morning, your aunt is sick. It doesn't matter. I'm looking for the punchline. And it's a way of coping. It's a way of me dealing. I don't deal with bad news. The way I deal with it is I find the joke. No matter what the situation is, and yes, sometimes it's inappropriate, I also understand where to make the jokes and who I can make the jokes with. But I just love the opportunity to, I call it spreading happiness. Because we all need to laugh. We all need to be able to de-stress, forget about the world's pressures. Because no matter what's going on, there's always something going wrong. Always. That's the only thing, is that something is guaranteed to go wrong in your life. Do not go, comedy is, if you like what you're seeing on stage, for that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, if you're enjoying it, you forget about your stress, you forget about your problems, and you are truly happy in that time.
It's like a beautiful escape.
That's the thing for me.
Gentlemen, man, thank you so much again for joining us this morning. Preaching, not just comedians, but preaching this morning as well, and bright and early in the morning. Absolutely love it. And I can't thank you again for choosing to choose your passion, for chasing it unrelentlessly, for doing your time and still allowing South Africans to be relatable to everything that's going on right now, and allowing us to have that escape. And we're going to do just that. We're going to carry on with that escape. We're going to carry on with the good times. Don't forget, of course, the Goliath tour is happening. It's their 10-year tour. They are taking place at Cape Town this weekend. You can find it at Web Tickets. And then also next weekend, they're heading to Easy the GQ to serve up some smiles and get it all across those dials across South Africa. But gents, you got to go carry on doing your thing right now, because the passion continues. I'm going to ask you to head off over to Zozo. She's standing by, because the games shall continue. Right, Zanzi, of course, don't forget, Web Tickets tickets is where they will be at, and there's an awesome opportunity to find some laughs this weekend. But right now, the laughs will carry on because the Goliath brothers are carrying on with all the magic. Let's check it out.